Good evening.
Hi Yogesh.
Good evening. समोरच्या लाईटमुळे एवढा प्रकाश पडतोय की चेहरा दिसत
हॅलो,
नाहीये.
एकच मिनिट योगेश,
हा,
तुझा आवाज येत नाहीये.
एक मिनिट मी परत करतो कनेक्ट.
हॅलो, ऑडिबल?
आता येतोय का? आता येतोय आवाज?
योगेश, युअर व्हॉइस इज नॉट ऑडिबल.
ओके, मी परत सेशन लॉग इन करतो.
दीपक, हाय, एम आय ऑडिबल?
Hi.
दीपक,
We can hear you.
गजानन,
Yes, Shashikant. दिसतोय ना मी?
गुड इव्हनिंग ऑल.
Good evening.
Hi,
एम
good
आय
evening.
ऑडिबल?
Yeah.
Yes,
Very much.
yes.
हॅलो,
माझा व्हिडिओ दिसतोय का?
शशिकांत आवाज येतोय माझा?
योगेश,
हा,
माझा व्हिडिओ दिसतोय?
हा,
एक
दिसतोय
मिनिट
दिसतोय.
बघतो. दिसतोय
मला दिसत नाही.
दिसतोय.
हॅलो,
हा, थोडासा कॅमेरा सेट कर. दिसतोय तुझा. एक मिनिट, अजून नाही दिसत व्हिडिओ. शशिकांत, त्याचा व्हिडिओ दिसतोय का आपल्याला? त्याचा स्क्रीन
कुणाचा?
काय नाव आहे आपलं? हा,
दीपक.
कोण जॉईन झालं? हा,
दीपक.
नाही, दीपक आहे. तू कोण?
नाही,
दीपक.
सिकंदर मैसाले.
आनंद पण ट्राय करतोय वाटतं. वनचं टेस्टिंग करतोय वाटतं.
हा, गजानन दिसतोयस तू? हाय.
हाय.
हाय दीपक. डॉक्टर राशीनकर, वेलकम.
Yes. Thank you.
डॉक्टर,
I am at workplace, so I am wearing mask because
Oh.
there are so
Okay,
many
good,
of
good,
my
sir.
colleagues present.
ओके, व्हेरी गुड, व्हेरी गुड. चांगली गोष्ट. दीपकचा प्रॉब्लेम सॉल्व्ह झालाय का दीपक?
हा सर, येतं ऐकू मला.
ओके.
हॅलो?
दीपक, तुझ्या बरोबर ते वसंत केंद्रे पण आहेत ना?
हो, माझा मित्रच आहे, क्लासमेट.
हो, ते आहेत. ते पण.
हॅलो वसंत, कसं काय म्हणते? हो. अच्छा, वसंत पण बोल रे. हॅलो. हा, हॅलो, वसंत पण बोलणार आहे का काय?
नाही. आय थॉट लाईक यू सेड ना की तुझे कोण मित्र होते ते क्रीडाईचे.
हा, नाही, ते ठक्कर म्हणून. हा, बाळासाहेब ठक्कर, क्रेडाई प्रेसिडेंट आहेत आपल्या साताराचे.
ते जॉईन
हा,
होते.
ते येणार. हा, हो. हॅलो मकरंद.
साहेब, नमस्ते.
अरे
दीपक,
मकरंद
तुझा
आला
मागचा
काय?
लाईट आहे ना दीपक?
लाईट बंद करू का मागचा?
हा, तुझा लाईट मुळे काय होतं, तुझा चेहरा दिसत नाही. तो लाईट ऑपोजिट पडतो.
ठीक आहे. मी आत बंद करतो, लाईट बंद करतो.
नाही, बंद नको, ते तुझ्या चेहऱ्यावर येऊ दे.
चेहऱ्यावर
जोश बघून मी पण बनणार आहे.
बरं, ठीक आहे. हे बघा, आता येते का सर? हे बघा.
हा.
तो लाईट चमकतो. हा, ठीक आहे. आता ठीक आहे.
मी बोलतोय तर ऐकू येते का सर?
हो. आपण साधारणतः 5:35 ला सेशन स्टार्ट करू. अजून 2-3 मिनिटं आपण लोकांचं वाट बघू, म्हणजे लोक लॉग इन होत आहेत.
दीपक जयंत ठक्कर ना?
हा, जयंत ठक्कर.
हा, ते पण जॉईन होत आहेत.
बरं, ठीक आहे.
मी जॉईन झालोय दीपक, मी जॉईन झालोय.
हो मकरंद, बघितलं तुला. धन्यवाद आल्याबद्दल.
तू नाही रे मकरंद, जयंत ठक्कर म्हणतोय तो.
नाही, त्याला सांगितलं मी जॉईन झालोय. शशिकांत
शर्ट
साहेब
फक्त घालून बस.
नाही, त्यांनी बघितलं.
बसलो.
शर्ट आणि पॅन्ट दोन्ही घालून बस.
बरं, चांगली गोष्ट आहे.
गुड.
आमच्या बॅचचा हेमंत पण जॉईन झाला बरं का, हेमंत चौधरी.
हेमंत चौधरी.
ओके.
ओके.
हा आमच्या बॅच.
आपण 5:35 ला
welcome.
बरोबर चालू करूयात.
हो हो
हो,
हेमंत
चालेल.
वेलकम.
No problem.
हेमंत
डॉक्टर साहेब काय अडचण?
नाही ना. ओके.
नाही ना?
ऑल इज वेल.
ओके ओके
Yes.
ग्रेट ग्रेट. दीपकच्या नंतर तुमचं असेल सेशन.
येस येस येस.
ओके. काय आज दोन दिग्गज लोक आहे बाबा. एक म्हणजे रिअल इस्टेट आणि कन्स्ट्रक्शन फील्ड मधला आणि एक केमिस्ट्री मधला.
दोन्ही विषय आपल्याला ना आपले बेकार होते. आपले काही
न झेपणारे का?
न येणारे न झेपणारे.
अमर चौगुले पण आहेत ते पुढचे स्पीकर.
अरे अमर.
ते अमर हॅलो. अमर हॅलो. बाळासाहेब हॅलो. रवींद्र पवार सर हॅलो.
हॅलो हॅलो.
डॉक्टर राशिनकर सर हॅलो. नमस्ते. बाळासाहेब ठक्कर पण आलेत वाटतं.
हॅलो हॅलो.
आले.
साहेब नमस्ते.
हा बाळासाहेब नमस्कार. बावसे सर नमस्ते. अजय सर नमस्ते. सर मला सांगा कधी चालू करायचं ते.
हो हो
अजून 3 मिनिटांनी.
3 मिनिटात.
ठीक आहे.
नाही तुझं इंट्रोडक्शन होईल. विनोद देशपांडे तुझं इंट्रोडक्शन करतील आणि गजानन राशनकरचं पण इंट्रोडक्शन करतील आणि मग स्टार्ट करूया.
चालेल.
ठीक आहे.
ओके ओके.
शशिकांत तू करणार का इंट्रोडक्शन?
नाही नाही कर ना तू. तुला व्यवस्थित जमतं तूच कर. कारण मी
अरे
बऱ्याच
बापरे.
वेळेस करतोय. मी रेग्युलर करतोय त्यामुळे कसं की त्यापेक्षा तू केलेलं बरं ना.
नाही कर तू कर. काही प्रॉब्लेम नाही. असं काही नाही.
मी करतो. चला मी करतो.
हा,
कोण,
कर.
मकरंद?
करू दे. कर.
चालेल चालेल. तुला
तुमच्या परमिशन असेल तर.
नाही नाही कर ना कर. पण गजाननची माहिती आहे ना?
नाही, गजानन सरांना म्हणजे मी शाळेत असताना बघितलं त्यांना. आम्हाला ते जवळपास 6 वर्ष 3-4 वर्ष सिनियर आहेत.
3 वर्ष रे.
3 वर्ष. तुमच्या बॅच आहेत ना?
नाही
तुमच्या एक
नाही
batch
मला
नंतर.
एक बॅच ज्युनियर मला.
जाऊ दे माके आपला पेंटच मार.
शशिकांत सुरू करतो मी ब्रीफ मध्ये. पहिली गोष्ट ऐका. सगळ्या बाकीच्या स्पीकर सोडून बाकीच्या लोकांनी म्यूट ठेवावं. म्हणजे सेशन विदाउट डिस्टर्बन्स होतोय. तुमच्या मागे शक्यतो क्लिअर बॅकग्राऊंड असतं म्हणजे व्हिजिबिलिटी जास्त असते. दोन्ही टॉपिक महत्वाचे आहेत. आपल्याला रिअल इस्टेट तर प्रत्येकाला टचिंग पॉइंट आहे. कारण प्रत्येक जण कुठल्या ना कुठल्या रिअल इस्टेट मध्ये होम बनवायचं असतं. म्हणजे हाऊस टू होम. तर चांगली मदत होईल त्याच्यामध्ये. फॉलोड बाय डॉक्टर राशिनकर. आता डॉक्टर्स म्हणल्यानंतर त्यांचं जास्त इंट्रोडक्शन देण्याची काही गरज नाहीये. 93 बॅच आणि CSIR आणि NET बद्दल सांगणार आहे. दीपक तर सगळ्यांना माहितीच आहे. 96 बॅच. स्कूलसाठी त्यांनी बरेचसे ऍक्टिव्हिटीज साताऱ्यामध्ये केलेले आहेत. बास्केटबॉल स्टेडियम बांधून वगैरे. आणि साताऱ्यामध्ये जी काही अडचण असेल लोकांना बरेच वेळा ही इज ऑलवेज ऑन अ फ्रंट फूट टू हेल्प पीपल. आणि डॉक्टर राशिनकर कोल्हापूरकर म्हटल्यानंतर बाकी इंट्रोडक्शन लागत नाही त्यांना. एक्सपर्ट इन केमिस्ट्री. तर हे छोट्या ह्या 2 लाईनर्स झाल्या आणि आता 5:34 झालेले आहेत. तर दीपककडे पास ऑन करतो. दीपक कॅन स्टार्ट हिज सेशन.
ओके. नमस्ते सगळ्यांना. आपले हॅलो गुड इव्हनिंग ऑल ऑफ यू. थँक यू सर फॉर गिव्हिंग मी टू टॉक इन दिस वेबिनार. As I've talked to Dhanshetty sir, he told me that I should speak on real estate, legal aspects, and the land development. It is the legal aspects are very vast subject, but still I would like to talk about it in concise, and then I'll talk about the land development. As we all know that real estate is the most sought after investment asset. Real estate can basically be divided into 4 types based on the functionality. The first is the residential, as we all know. Second is the commercial. Third is the industrial, and fourth is the agricultural land. Then, based on how your name has entered into the records, it can be classified as one which is bought by you your company, your partnership firm, or your family, or the one which you have inherited from your family, from your relatives, from your company, or from your partnership. In the post-COVID world, we have to rethink on all the priorities. We are at a crossroads in our civilization where we will need to rethink on all aspects of the life. The basic requirements in the life, the roti, kapda, makan, will also be put to a grind. People will change their priorities. They're changing their priorities, taking into account the post-COVID world. But the biggest medicine or the biggest companion which has been with all of us is our house or the home, which is a part of a real estate. Save for the unlucky few who are stuck away from their homes due to travel, jobs, or their health issues, most of us are in the cozy confines of our house. So real estate is the most sought after, as I've said again, the most sought after asset, but it is also the most dreaded asset. Dreaded asset, I will say, because large amount of money is involved into it, and it cannot, and it also does not get liquidated when the opportunity comes or when we need the money. It is not liquidated just like the shares or the gold or cash or the other asset classes. One of the main reasons being that there's legal litigations involved or there are legal hassles. If the legal problems exist in the real estate, we are not even able to enjoy that property, much the less transfer it or sell it. It becomes very cumbersome to hold on to that property, and also we lose a lot of money, or we'll have to sell it at a cheap price than we have bought. The main thing is that the legal hassles we can wipe them off, or we can avoid them or prevent them while we buy the property. And while buying the property, if we do the due diligence, all the further problems, they will get eradicated at the same moment. So while we are buying a property, we should think on two bases. One is that why do we need it? Why, where, how? We'll ask those questions to ourselves. And once that is done, then we'll have to do the due diligence in the legal way. So the first thing which we will ask ourselves, we'll discuss with our family members, with our partners, is that why do we need it? Because as Warren Buffett has stated, if you buy the things which you don't need, you may be forced to sell the things which you need. So first of all, before you buy any real estate or before you plan to go into any deal, first make a property brief, or I'll say a wish list. Why you, your family, your company, your firm needs it. The second thing is that use the internet, because nowadays internet has made the things a lot easy and they help you a lot. The third thing is very important. Avoid cheap deals or urgent traps. People may come to you that you will get a property, there is a small bit of litigations, you will get it cheaply. But what happens, you get stuck into those deals. Don't get stuck into such deals, because you lose a lot of time, and time is money nowadays. So so please try to avoid the urgency trap. Then the next point is you should fix on the location. You should focus on the locations which you need. You just as the first point I had stated, the need is important. So is the location. Then one more important thing which we overlook in terms of the house buying is that we are very much prejudiced about the problems which we are facing in our current houses. So you make two lists: what you need and what problems you are facing in the house where you're living or in the home which you're living, and try to see that when you buy a new house, you will overcome the shortcomings in this house, but whatever advantages you have in this house, they will continue. then ask many questions to the seller. You don't feel that you will sound foolish or you will sound naive or ignorant. No, you'll have to ask the questions to the seller. You'll have to ask him all type of questions. And the last thing, which is very important, is stick to your budget. Because if you don't stick to your budget, maybe you will overpay it or you may overfinance it. And later on, it creates a lot of problems to get out of it or to make the project feasible. Once you have done this due diligence on a mental level, and once you have zeroed on that you are going to do this deal, then you will go for the legal searches. Now, I have seen many people, they skip this legal search. Once they think that there is a estate agent involved or some friend involved or some company involved in the deal, or if they know that person, the seller, if they are friendly with him or if they know him very well, they skip the title search, which has caused a lot of problems to individuals, to families, to companies, and many litigations are pending. People are heartbroken. Worse, their money is lost. So always involve a good lawyer to get the title search of the property. When I mean the title search, it is a complete exhaustive search in the judiciary, in the revenue level, and at the register offices. And there's one saying in the judiciary that buyer be aware. So it is the responsibility of the buyer to check that the seller who is selling him has a valid and lawful title. It is not the responsibility of the seller. You can't go on later on in the court and say that that seller has duped me. It is your duty to do the due diligence. So in this due diligence, you will have to take a search of 30 years. First of all, go to the city survey offices or the authority office or the Prant office, where you will get the right out of the. You will go for the extract of the property and the mutations. You will check if all the flow of the record of the rights is right, and the person who is selling you is a valid and lawful, he holds a valid and lawful title. Once you have done that, you go to the sub-register office. Many deals, they are done in the sub-register office, but they are not entered into the record of the rights. And that creates a problem. Even many banks don't enter their mortgages into the record of the rights. You buy that property and later on you come to know that there is that it has been mortgaged to some bank or to some private finance, NBFCs, or even private money lenders, and it's and it and it causes a lot of problems. So you must search it at the sub-register level. Then you can also search it in the judiciary. If the seller who is selling you, if he has some case pending in the court of the law, and after you have done all this, you can make a proclamation in the newspaper. The proclamation in the newspaper is also needed because sometimes there are properties which are AQMA properties, which are held by the families, but due to some disputes or say some deals which are not on the paper, and there may be some interests of the families, all that things, or even again, if there are some banks who have not done the registered mortgages, there are some banks who even don't do the registered mortgages. They will come up and they will tell that they have some stake in this property. So if you want to be a bona fide purchaser for the value without notice, you will have to do this due diligence, this searches at the revenue, the judiciary, the sub-registrar, and the proclamation in the newspaper. All these things you will have to do it. So once you have done this, most of the times you will avoid all the hassles which you have to go later on. This holds true for the residential plots from the non-developers or the individual sellers. It is also applicable for the commercial properties, agricultural properties, MIDC plots, apartments, all types of properties. In the under construction buildings which are now registered with the RERA, it is a little bit easy nowadays because of the stringent RERA laws. The RERA laws are too strict, so nowadays people fulfill, the builders or the developers have to fulfill all the legal needs. But still, you should check with the RERA numbers of that property. You should talk to few people. You should have at least 3 or 4 meetings, and then you should make the decisions. There's one more way, that you should check if the developer is registered with associations like CREDAI, BI, PBAP, and like, because if they are registered over there, they have their own constitution which says that you should follow RERA compulsorily. And if there is any problem later on, they can be arbitrators or they can help you with it. But still, I will reiterate again that buyer, be aware, and you should still do your own due diligence before buying any properties. Now, sometimes what happens is that you buy a property which is already constructed, it has got its occupancy certificate, people are living in that, and you go for that a second hand flat sale or something like that. In that cases, you should check with the occupancy certificates, you should check with the drawings, you should check with the deed of declarations which the builder has done, because there regarding parking, use of the terrace, use of the common areas, because the builder or the society has allotted amongst themselves, they have some deals in between them, and they have allotted those rights. You should not feel that you did not have a look into it, or there should not be any discrepancy between what the seller has stated and what the papers say. Then, in addition to the legal aspects we have discussed, while buying an apartment, constructed house, duplex, anything like that, you should also check for the sanction plans. Those sanction plans must be sanctioned by an authority which has got the right to do it. Many a times, it has happened that people have bought properties which say they are Gram Panchayat sanctioned. Actually, Gram Panchayat is not entitled, or it does not have any right to sanction. It is just an authority which has to forward those papers to the town planning authority. So you will have to check those things. And while buying any property, you should consult lawyers, architects, or consultants. You pay them fee, or if you have good friends, you talk to them. And only after all this due diligence is done, you buy a property, so that not be what you can say, you don't overpay it, and later on you don't have to repent. Now, after having talked about the properties which you buy, I will also talk about the legal aspects about the properties inherited. The property inherited, it is a lot of heartache, because what happens in India, basically, because of all the laws, it happens that a lot of love is lost between the family or the partners when they are partitioning the property. I would like to suggest. Hello.
येतोय आवाज येतोय.
हाँ ठीक है. I would like to suggest that your family is more important, your partnerships, your associations are more important than the assets. So try to be as judicious as possible while partitioning those. And if there are some issues, try to get a good arbitrator who can solve, or some well-wishers who can help you, and without any legal hassles, or without wasting time and money, you can all the properties, and everyone feels that he has got the appropriate stake. Then the next thing is that all taxes are paid. If you have inherited a property from your parents or from your relatives, see that all the taxes are paid with. Then, while inheriting the while inheriting properties, there are instances when some entries in the record of the rights are incomplete. You see that you nip them in the bud, because once those problems, they are just not solved that place itself, they will just go on adding up, and in the next entries also it will make your property or it will not help while you're selling the property or while you're doing the valuations of the property. If you have a partnership firm and you are dissolving it or you are partitioning it, then see that all the appropriate stamp duties and the taxes are paid. Don't have to pay exorbitant penalties. The next point is about the capital gains tax. The capital gains tax is very important. While you are buying a property, a new property, capital gains tax is not your issue, it is the issue of the seller. But if you inherit some property from some partnerships or your companies, you will have to talk to your accountants and you will have to pay the taxes. And also, if you sell a property, then also you will have to pay the appropriate capital gains tax. Many a times they are not paid upon, and the interest, they just go on adding up, and later on you come to know that you have to pay a lot of properties. Reflects into your book of accounts too, because later on if you want to buy or you want to take a loan on that property, if their entry still exists on the record of, see that you strike it on time. It is to be this care has to be taken even if you inherit a property or even if you buy a property. There are some entries in the Itaradhikar which we are not which we just overlook upon, and later on they make a big problem. If you're buying a old property, also see that, do a structural audit of that property. If many a times structural or service defects are there, which upon it you will you will end up overpaying for that property. So structural audit done. Also, all in all, I'll just sum it up that when assets like real estate, distractions can leave you heartbroken, or worse, paying more than you should. If you are new to real estate market, you will fall for that stuff. So keep your cool, stay emotionally detached. It is very important. Stay emotionally detached. It's not the only and what we can say. If it's not that you're going to lose the world if you don't buy a property, but you should stay emotionally detached. You should take expert advice for it, and only when you know that it is necessary for your business, for your family, or whatever, for or your investment, only after that you should buy that property. So I think the legal aspects which I have talked, they are in short. It's very a big subject, but still I've taken into account that you please take the help of experts while buying any property or while dealing with any property. Now the second topic, land development. People want to invest into real estate for n number of reasons. It is a good investment, but from the new point of view, from the COVID point of view, I would say that I personally, even though I'm a developer, I will say that in this new era, the cash is king. So don't buy the things which you don't need, and please avoid over financing or taking big loans, because we don't know how the businesses are going to go in the next 2 or 3 years, what they're going to do. But still, we are human beings. We want that we should invest somewhere. We buy stocks. If you see, the stocks have fallen off by nearly 20, 25, 30% from their highs. At least real estate is not like that. It won't fall off so sharply. And also, if you take into account about the last 20 years, the real estate has outperformed stocks, gold, everything it has outperformed. But still, I will suggest that if you want to invest, if you have a home, invest into apartments or constructed houses. Try to buy land, because what happens if you buy apartments, the construction, it depreciates, whereas the land appreciates. And all the depreciation in the construction, it eats up into the appreciation of the land. And in India, the ROI are very weak to match with the sale values. We are still not having those high ROIs on rental incomes as compared to the sale. So I would suggest that buy plots, buy agricultural lands. But main problem with the agricultural land is that you have to have agriculturalist. You have to be an agriculturalist, or as they call in Marathi, Shetkaryacha Dakhla. But nowadays, even that can be held off. You can form smaller groups and you can buy property, and you can say that you are going to use for some purpose, for some medical plantations, agriculture plantations. There are ways to do that. Even you can set up solar farms. I'll talk about it later on, but I'll just tell that there are many people who come to me that they want to invest money. Please don't invest money into time sharing. Please don't invest money where they will tell you that you will get a fixed up of money. Because I have seen that many people, they have lost a good deal of amount on time sharing, on and there are many ways. Clubhouses, they will invest your money and you will get a return. Don't, if you want to do it in a group in which you are comfortable. Now you have WhatsApp, you can form the group with like-minded people, do it with them. You talk to 10, 15, 20, 30 developers, you choose who's the best amongst them, and then do it. But just don't put a faith, and just because it's a new asset class, don't invest into it. There's one more asset, there's one more tool by which you can invest in real estate, that is real estate investment trusts, which are being set up. I think the first one set up in Bangalore. It is also listed on the National Stock Exchange. I don't know how they are giving the dividends or the interest, because I'm not much interested into it, but you can have a look about it, how you can invest into those things. From my point of view, the total real estate value minus the furnitures or the movables in India right now is in the range of $4 to $5 trillion. And if it is properly unlocked, in the next decade, it will reach $15 trillion. So even as if our GDP reaches $5 trillion by 2030, the total value of the real estate in India will be nearly 3 times of that. So see that you have a fair share in it. Even we all have that the OAS, which is the most stable and which has helped us in this COVID-19 pandemic. I am from Satara. I have a flat in Pune which was bought by my father. Even I think that I should buy a flat for my children when they are going to go for further education in and live there, or for the education purposes, or after the marriage, it will help them. But I don't know in which area they're going to settle. I don't know if they're going to settle in Pune or Mumbai, or I don't know if they're going. So that's why what I've done, I have kept a hedge fund, sort of hedge fund, in which I invest into properties in Satara, and they help me if say 10, 15 years down the line, if I have to buy some property in Pune, I will see that I sell this off, then I'll buy it over there. We have a member of CREDAI. He's the president of Satara CREDAI. He's in our group right now. He's Subhasep Thakkar. He's one of the leading builders in Satara. He once told that, Deepak, when you're buying into any property, choose Nariman point. 100 years back, if somebody invested 1,000 rupees in Satara and 1,000 rupees in Nariman Point, that 1,000 rupees in a real estate in Satara has become 10 lakhs. But if he had invested that 1,000 rupees at Nariman Point, it is 10 crores. So you have to look for your Nariman points. That is also very important. But while you're looking out for those bigger gains or better prospects, see that you don't waste your time. Procrastination is the thief of the time, and people just waste time trying to choose or trying to look. Have a fine balance on return on investment and the safety of the investment. So if you feel that the safety of your investment, I feel that it is more in Satara, because I am here. I know what is the title of that that real estate property. I can go and pay the taxes. If I rent it out, I can go and collect the rent. All these things are suitable for me. But still, you should be alert all the time when you are investing into real estate. And these two things you should weigh in, and only after investment. I think it has been long talk, and thank you all of you for being patient and hearing. If you have any questions, I'll tell Shashikant sir that I'll answer them.
There are few questions on chat. You can go to it, Deepak.
Okay. I will have to go to
Deepak, there is a question from Ganesh
sir,
Nirmal sir. Okay, he has asked, let's say he has recently obtained a legal hire succession certificate from the court. It is a time-consuming process, so there is no further.
Nice, Shashikant. Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, hello.
You can ask.
I just wanted to say that is correct, sir. म्हणजे आपले जे आई वडील वगैरे आहेत ज्यांच्या नावाने प्रॉपर्टी आहे त्यांनी जर विल नसेल सोडलेली तर मग यू हॅव टू ऑब्टेन दिस लीगल हेअर्स और सक्सेशन सर्टिफिकेट फ्रॉम द कोर्ट.
हो, ते कंबरसम आहे
आणि खूप कंबरसम आणि टाइम कन्झ्युमिंग आहे. आणि आम्हाला आणि त्याच्यात परत कसं आहे की जितकी तुम्ही भावंड वगैरे आहात तुम्हाला एकाच वेळी एकाच ठिकाणी येऊन ते सगळ्यांचे शेड्यूल कोऑर्डिनेट करून सुट्ट्या काढून ते करणे ते फार डोकेदुखीचं आहे. सो वन ऑफ
तुम्ही एक काम करू शकता. तुम्ही एक काम करू शकता. तुमच्या ब्लड रिलेशन मध्ये तुम्ही एक जणाला पॉवर ऑफ अटॉर्नी, जेव्हा तुम्ही भारतात कधी याल त्याला रजिस्टर्ड पॉवर ऑफ अटॉर्नी दे. तुमच्या सगळ्यांचं जर का असेल सगळ्या गोष्टींवर तुम्ही ते विकू शकता किंवा तुम्ही
राईट
पण एक मत नसेल तर मी म्हंटल तसं try to be as judicious as possible. Or if you have any mama kiwa kaka ki who can be the arbitrator, they can help you better. It will save time because there's no use going to the judiciary. It will just फक्त वेळ जास्त वाया जातो. एक वकील वेगळं वकील असतील तर
ऍब्सोल्युटली नाही. पण एक म्हणजे याच्यापासून जर आपल्याला सगळ्यांना एक लर्निंग घ्यायची असेल तर म्हणजे जी आपली आई वडिलांची प्रॉपर्टी आहे ते आपसात म्हणजे भावंडात वगैरे बोलून ते सगळं केलेलं बरं. म्हणजे हा विषय म्हणजे इट्स अ टची सब्जेक्ट. नो वन वॉन्ट्स टू गेट इन टू दिस बिकॉज फील या सब्जेक्ट मध्ये आपण बोललो तर म्हणजे स्वतःचा स्वार्थ म्हणजे आपले आई वडील आता जायला टेपलेत असं काही सेंटिमेंट्स असं असतात. पण याच्यात ऍक्च्युअली प्रॅक्टिकॅलिटी बघायला पाहिजे आणि हे सगळे डोकेदुखी अवॉइड करायला यू मस्ट पुट दिस इनटू